So, this is your King of Kings. Sunday, April 6th, 2014. It's been quite a while. Anyway, so, we're having a series of reality talks commencing now, and I thought we had talks about sex, but something that I think needs talked about is drugs. And then rock and roll, but or drugs now. And so I'm here to tell you that drugs can be fun. And you can use them for all kind of interesting and myriad purposes. If used correctly, they can be catalysts to altered states of consciousness that are really quite remarkable and potent. And lead you into other dimensions of reality that are unseen, for the most part, from the third dimension. So first thing you need to understand is drugs are fun and they're dangerous. It's like a Ferrari in the hands of a 14-year-old boy. You know, like this is what we have going on in North America today. Perhaps not in other locations. I'm not really, I haven't studied the drug usage among every nation on earth, but it's a significant issue in most countries. And for instance, in the United States, 70% of the cost of incarceration in the judicial system is due to prohibition-related issues. They call it some substance abuse issues. Now, there's a difference between substance use and substance abuse. For instance, if you have no life going for yourself, cocaine and heroin would be very, very, not a good choice for you. Because then you'll marry the drug and life will pass you by. It happens to millions and millions and millions of our kids today. Marijuana and hashish have been in use for thousands of years, so is opium. Opium is probably my favorite drug of all. It's well used in the Middle East. And it doesn't go well with alcohol. I think that's probably one of the reasons why Muslims would forbid alcohol, because opium and alcohol are not a good combination. In any event. So, but opium is God's gift to humanity, particularly to elderly people. It reduces the blood pressure, it slows the heart rate, it relieves propensity to seek nourishment in fiat foods. It gives you energy. It doesn't, these pictures of opium dreams are, Hollywood's version of what some drunken Englishman thought he saw in an opium den in China. Opium will give you energy. Well, if used instead of abused, it can be a boon for your life, and an inexpensive one as well. In the Middle East, I believe it's selling for about $1 a gram. Now, I had an 8-month opium romance, and it was $25 a gram, and I could sort of afford it. But if I went past a gram a day, like if I did a gram and a quarter, I would be sick. So, my limit was a gram a day, maximum I could take, and that was for the whole 8 months. I never got beyond that. And quitting it was like easy as falling off a log. You just gradually decrease your dosage every day. It takes a bit of mental discipline, but not that much. And, I turned around and realized it had been 2 or 3 days since I had thought of having a toke, and I believe I still had some left. So, drugs aren't bad. Is that? Especially the drugs that God gives us are not bad. But people who feel they're entitled to circumscribe the gifts of God for their fellows rather than educate or seek what works with these substances and these gifts of God and make them available to people. You can't prohibit people from participating in the gifts of God, first of all. You got no prerogative to do this. No principality on earth has any right whatsoever to forbid marijuana, opium, or any other plant that God has deemed fitting for man to explore. So, this is the first foundation you need to understand about drugs, is when you create a prohibitionary circumstance around things that are potent and fun for people and have huge potential possibilities for people, for personal growth and all kinds of things. So, when one man feels that he knows better than another man was better for him than he does, you have what is called a black market occur. And this has been a font of riches for petty kings since time immemorial. Think about this. The United States would have a 70% less cost to prosecute crimes that they have no business prosecuting to begin with. But you see, it keeps lawyers and judges employed. And they're not really too bright, so they need to kind of have a secure future. So what they do is they craft laws they know have no hope of being obeyed, but are profitable to enforce. This is the problem with drugs. It's not the people who grow them, it's not the people who use them, it's not the people who even sell them. It's the people who create fairy tales around them so that they can profit from the ignorance of their fellows and their own ignorance as well. So, I'll give you a bit of my experience with drugs. I've been taking methadone for about 45 years or so. Still have most of my teeth, a good portion of them anyway, and half a head of hair. So a wit or two to rub one against another, and I'm in fairly good shape. So it didn't kill me. It did a lot of people, but those people never had a Howie in their life. Those people never had a master who guided them in life. None of them had a friend who knew what he was talking about and that he could believe and who was right about his education, his gift of the use of drug substances to yours truly. And I'm so lucky to have met him. You have no idea. But, so, drugs are not bad and wrong. It's the people who seek to manipulate the minds of others and profit from this forced manipulation. You buy my bullshit or I fuck you up. Now, is that any way for a servant to talk to his people? That's what a king is a servant. Servant of God first, and his people second. No fucking debatable area, no gray area, no fuck all. This is how it works. And it takes a lot of energy to argue with God, believe you me. And most of the time when I do, I lose. But every once in a while he allows me to win. But, I got to thinking, I got to educate you people about everything. You don't know anything about anything. You don't know about yourselves. You don't know why you're here. You don't know how to have sex. You don't know how to enjoy sex. Oh, what else? Like all these fundamental things that you're ignorant of. It's just pathetic. You don't know anything about money. You don't know how to make it. All you know how to do is fraudulently steal it. And you got good at that. But those days are over. I'm here. I'm your King of Kings. This is the last day. And you're it. And you count, and what you say and do matters. Lots. To you. So, how you think and how you originate your life is interconnected with every experience you have. So, for instance, It can't be that I steal from my customers and come home and be generous to my wife and children. It can't be that I kick the cat and love myself, my wife. And it can't be that I lie and get away with anything. Because I was there. I know what happened. Do you understand? And many of us, most of us, and in fact, you can say 100% of us are deluding ourselves in visions of a pathetic grandeur that we can't even pretend to proselytize because we haven't the faintest idea of what we're talking about. We have no idea what we're doing. Do you understand this? But what men figured out is, fuck women, they don't count, they're not tough, they can't punch me out, so shut them the fuck up and let them make kids, take care of my socks and underwear, and I'm gonna go make some money. I'm gonna conquer other men, kill if I have to, but I'm gonna get rich and famous however it has to happen. Fuck everybody else. First around here. You see, I really didn't see that because I've never originated my life that way, really. But well, in some ways I have, but not like that. But all of humanity is. And I'm your king, and I'm responsible for you before God, for everything. Your emotional health, your mental health, your physical health, your financial health, every fucking way you exist, I'm responsible for before my God. And it's a fucking mess right now, and you're a mess. You need help. Admit it. It's like you cannot hide it anymore, and nothing is going to remain hidden. And I'm going to see, goddamn well see to it, but not only me, I got 144,000 friends who are going to help. So basically, the music stopped, you are where you are, and it's determining the turkeys from the ducks time now. Separating the wheat from the chaff, as it were. And so, I'm here to tell you, as your King of Kings, that your current leaders are totally, without exception, whores, thugs, thieves, pimps of reason, and treasonous to themselves, to God, to the countries they live in, and to you. All of them. Except Nelson Mandela. He's dead. But Nelson Mandela was a man I looked up to. Not many others, Jack Kennedy. But the rest aren't worth pinch kunchit. Your MIT professors, if you contrast the Big Bang Theory with the Bible, an 8-year-old kid would say the Bible is more plausible. If you listen to these white-coated pimps of reason speak to their own brilliance, like, who in the fuck's going to contradict them? Oh, the universe is 869,429,310 years old. I got rocks to prove it. So. Therefore, there's no God. I am now God. I'm a scientist. Don't you know? Science is going to cure everything. Anyway, you're fucked up desperately. You don't know how you're put together at all. Not a single psychiatrist on this planet can give anyone a definition of mental health, nor how to increase it or influence it once you have it. Not a fucking clue. And they feel underpaid at $200, $300, $400 an hour for their services. Same thing as lawyers. They bugger my laws, and the laws of God, and their own statute law for fiat pence. That means fake IOUs. So, the great whore of Babylon is jurisprudence. Everything Hitler did, everything Mussolini did, everything Saddam Hussein did was legal. Everything George Bush does, everything Mr. Obama does is illegal. They are the whores of this universe, and they're going to be grabbed by their ankles and bounced on their fucking heads till every fucking nickel falls out of their fraudulent fucking pockets onto the ground and given back to people from whom it was stolen. You fucking piss me off. You think you're gonna win ground war with us? I've been paying quiet, silent attention for the last 45 years. And even though I take drugs, and maybe even abuse them a time or two, I still have a pretty sharp memory. And you see, every crime you prevaricate upon each other, you prevaricate upon us. Every good thing you do for each other, you do to us also. And right now, you're wearing me out. I'm supposed to live 115 years, all right? And so you're wearing my manhood down, you're wearing my body down, my mind, my emotions, and my spirit, and my wits. It's heavy carrying your load. But I've got no choice. Because in Allah's reality, in Allah's world, the king wins last. People win first. Allah wins second, but that's only through the people putting Allah first. Allah worships you, and so do I, and so do my wives, and 144,000 other our friends, and a bunch of others as well. But that's it. That's all you got. Basically, as us, to tell you the truth. And we're going to. And a lot of you are not going to like it to start with. Many of you are going to want to kill me. Many of you are going to want to shoot me and piss on my corpse. And you can do this. You can. But you have to ask yourself first this question. If this guy is really King of Kings, and he is a servant of God's, and my dad, and my mom is in town, Eve, as well, do I really want to fuck with this guy? Like, he's bringing a thing called the promised land to me and my children and my uncles and my nieces and my nephews. And so, he's a bit hard around the edges at times, but he hasn't lied to me much so recently. And I can tell you this, I ain't likely to begin doing it now. So, I need your help. I need you to worship the true, like your life depends on it, because mine does. Alright? So, you got a royal family here that loves you. It's going to tell you the truth. Come hell or high water, I'm going to tell you the truth for 1,000 years. Or I'm Monkey's uncle. So, have a good Sabbath. And know you got a God, for sure. And a king and a couple of queens, for sure. And things are going to change around here, for sure.